you guys? Welcome back to our channel, Red Bull Coffee and Crime. It's your girl Red Bull here. I don't have a Red Bull, but I got a Bang coffee. I ran out of Red Bulls, unfortunately. I had to reschedule this live several times because, yes, I am in therapy. I don't like this little background thing because, like, it looks like I'm a bald head. Um, so I do therapy online, and she kept holding it back and still hasn't started. So I figured I'll just do this. And anyways, so, I kind of want to go over. There are so many foster care parents that are getting charged with horrible crimes. Um, as we all know, it's been going on for a while now. And I kind of want to, just like we're doing the CPS failure series, it kind of goes along with all of this. The CPS, the foster care system, it's all the same. But I kind of want to do a series of different cases. I don't like this background. Let me change this background up. Hold on. I can't. It's a cute background, but it just look. I only have half a head. It looks like I have half a brain. Hold on. Hold on to your love. Okay. I don't know how to You know what? I'm gonna buy one of. But I like. Hold on. I don't know. It still looks like I have half a brain. Maybe it's the light. Okay, whatever. So yeah, I kind of want to go through a series. I don't know if you guys heard about the case that was in Georgia, where I used to live. That was really close to me, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard much about it, through the news. I know Annie Elise covered it. There was two guys that adopted children, and they did horrific things to them, sexual abuse, let others abuse them sexually. They're in jail. One of the jail calls was, guys, if you have not heard of this story, please go check out 10 to Life. The guy was on the phone with somebody worrying about, I need to get out of here. How am I going to pay the bills, my Hulu account, my Netflix, my payments, my mortgage, everything. Like, worried about all of this stuff. And he was worried about, he sleeps naked. So he was like, the cops pulled me out of my bed and put me in a cop car naked. Dude, that is the last thing that you need to be worrying about. You feel me? Why is there a kid screaming? My neighbors, I don't know. When you see something, you're supposed to say something. Like, their kids have been homeschooled. One of them just started going to school. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hey! Hold on, you guys. See, I don't like this shit. You guys give me 1 second because I gotta go see if everything's good. I don't know if you guys hear that, but hold on. Okay, I'm back. My neighbors, I swear, you guys, I'm like, is everything good? Because I always hear them screaming. Like they play outside. I know they're kids, but there's something really off about them. But it was the 4 year old, and he's having like this huge breakdown. Like she's trying to get him in the car. I'm not nosy, you guys, but that's what I'm talking about. If you see something, say something. Like I just had to go out there and be like, "Is everything good?" Because your kid is screaming. But it's just the weirdest stuff that they do. So, hey, Arctic, I am actually, hold on, my neighbor's kids. Like, there's something weird with my neighbors, and they homeschooled them. I don't know if you hear that screaming. And one of them is in the fifth grade. They just started school. Like, none of them have ever been to school. And right now, they have a 4 year old outside screaming and crying, but it's just more stuff that happens where I'm like, so I just went out there and I'm like, is everything good? She's like, I'm just trying to get him in the car. And I don't know. I don't like it. But they know that I'm like on their ass because I always go out there every time but I might have to do something more. And they're not allowed to like, Arctic, do you hear that? I wish I could bring the speaker out there with me. I just went out there though, but she's just trying to get him in the car. But I don't, there's way more into this. But, I've had words with her before. Like, she doesn't let them like play with anybody. She has 6 kids. Oh my God. All of them homeschooled, except she let one start this year. And she doesn't let them leave her yard. Like, my kids will go over there and play. And I've had a few words with her before. My heart. I don't like it. I'm gonna call you later and talk to you about it because something's definitely not right. But I just went out there so she knows. And then the other neighbor across the street is outside. So, anyways, I hate people. I hate people. Um, So I kind of wanted to go over this case. It's really, really old. I don't know if a lot of you, I mean, if you guys have heard um, of this case. They're the Collingwood boys. I'm going to just read from Wikipedia, but then I have my own notes where I will read to you because there's a lot into this. So this is what Wikipedia says. Okay, the Collingwood boys are 4 boys who were starved by their adoptive parents, Raymond and Vanessa Jackson, while living in Collingswood, New Jersey. And a part of this I'm going to go into, there was like 30 priests that were involved in that same in Collingswood, New Jersey, that were involved in like a sex ring kind of. I can't work like this. Hold on. Fuck. Like, because if something's really going on, but I just literally went over there, she's going to be like, okay, I'm back. She got him into the car. Guys, that's a whole nother, oh my God. I wouldn't be freaking out like this if um, but I'm not gonna, they know I have a channel and I really don't want to talk about what has happened or what I have done. But she knows I don't like it. So they were 4 boys who were starved by their adoptive parents, Raymond and Vanessa Jackson, while living in Collingswood, New Jersey. The Jacksons were arrested in October 2003 and indicted by a grand jury on 8 counts of aggravated assault and 20 counts of endangerment for failing to provide adequate nutrition, medical and dental care, and a clean environment for the 4 boys who ranged in age from 10 to 19 as of May 2004. The case came to public attention after a neighbor found the Jacksons' 19-year-old adoptive son, Bruce. He was rummaging through garbage cans for food at 3 o'clock in the morning on October 10th, 2003. The neighbor called 911. The Collingswood Police Department responded to the call and found Bruce, who weighed, you guys, 19 years old. 19 years old, weighed 45 pounds. And at that time, he only was 4 feet tall. 45 pounds. And when you see this picture, you will just, oh God, I want to rip these people's heads off. 45 pounds, 4 feet tall at 19 years old. He was disoriented, shoeless, covered in bruises, cold, and extremely malnourished. The police believed him to be about 7 years old at that time. They went to the Jacksons' home where they found his adoptive brothers, who also appeared malnourished. There was Michael, age 9, that was 23 pounds. Terrell, age 10, who was 28 pounds. And Trey Sean, who was 14 at 40 pounds. 19, yes. 45 pounds. I can't even imagine. That's how much, what, like a, I'm so distracted right now. Like a, what, 3-year old? I don't know. I don't even remember at my kid's age when they were like, but 19, you're not supposed to be 45 pounds. The 9-year old was 23 pounds. I mean, imagine at birth, like babies could, 8 pounds, 9 pounds, 10 pounds, and 9 years old, 23 pounds. The adoptive father, Raymond Jackson, he was 51, and he died of complications from a stroke on November 14th, 2004, before the case went to trial. There was no justice. In an interview with a New York magazine shortly before his death, Jackson claimed that 45-pound Bruce Jackson had often gorged himself on food and had lied about the conditions in the home. Until the 911 call, no one had reported concerns about the children, although they were often seen in public, including at the Come Alive New Testament Church in Medford, New Jersey, where Raymond and Vanessa Jackson and their adoptive foster children, including the 4 boys, always sat in the front row for services. They also attended church picnics, and boys sang gospel on stage. The Jacksons blamed the emaciated conditions of the 4 boys on medical problems. They never saw a doctor. They didn't have medical problems because, first of all, you take them to a doctor, you get the medical problems figured out. There's no way that a medical problem at 19 causes you to be 45 pounds. And I mean, so the Jacksons had 6 adopted children: Bruce Treshawn, 14, Terrell, 10, Michael, 9, Kiza, 12, and JC, 5. They also plan to adopt a 10-year-old foster child, Brianna. They received an annual subsidy of approximately $30,000 to care for their foster and adopted children. Dozens of friends and acquaintances thought that the Jacksons were model parents and adopted troubled children with a host of medical problems, children no one else wanted. They believed that it was their duty and that Jesus would guide them. Give me a fucking break. Vanessa Jackson, the adopted mother, eventually pled guilty and was sentenced to, get this, 7 years in prison, but only served 1 year. Bruce gained, the one with the medical, all of them had medical problems, but Bruce, he 1945 pounds, he gained 100 pounds within a year after his removal. I can't. So I'm going to go over the notes that I have. That's what a 6-year-old should weigh. Yeah, it blows my mind. And then you don't take them to the doctor. So how can it be a fucking medical problem? You fucking, in 1 year, she got sentenced to 7, but did 1 year. And the dad fucking died of a stroke. Should have died in a fucking fire. Freaking worse. I don't know. So, and the people that went to church with him, that's where, you see something, you say something, comes in. I can't believe nobody ever thought, like, hey, let's call the police. Let's call something. There's something not right here. Hold on. Let me find the pictures first before I go on to more. I'll share my screen. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can really, let me share it. I'm just disgusted. I'll find a bigger one. Hold on. I know it's sad. I can't even remember my children's weight at those ages. And I'm like, but hell, my 8-year-old weighs 99 pounds or 98 pounds. The last time I took her to the doctors. I put the link if you want to come up, Arctic. I know that you probably have a lot to say about this. Let me find the other pictures and then we'll kind of go on. Because there was something about like their lawyer. Hold on. And then one of the sons is not allowed to see the brothers anymore. It goes into a lot. So this woman, Vanessa, the little momster, she just stood by as her 4 adopted sons slowly wasted away as they fought hunger by gnawing on bits of wallboard. Their teeth were rotten from malnutrition. Vanessa, when she never acknowledged mistreating the boys, she insists that after her arrest, this article was taken away 7 years ago. They suffered from an eating disorder. In the years that followed, as the children doubled and tripled in weight, Jackson continued to maintain her innocence before a parole board, which twice denied her bid for release. Parole officials had no more say in the matter as the 50-year-old Camden woman walked free from prison, her term completed. Jackson, whose systematic starvation of her sons made headlines nationwide and helped speed reforms to New Jersey's child welfare system, she was sentenced to 7 years, got 1 year. I was seeing if you got on or not. Where did it go? So with credit for good behavior and for working as a seamstress behind bars, she maxed out her term. Jackson was released. Jackson's husband, he also had been charged, but he died before even, serving his so-called time. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Authorities later learned that the boys subsisted on a diet of uncooked pancake batter. They fed these children pancake batter. Can you just imagine being so hungry and they're like, here you go, here's some pancake batter. One of them would gnaw on the windowsill to blunt his hunger. So he was just chipping at paint, chipping away wood. Arctic, you're not going to join me? You hate me now. Okay. Under anyone's definition of hell, they lived in it truly. The lawyer of Bruce Jackson, who is Michael Critchley, Bruce won a $5 million settlement from the state, and the other 3 boys were awarded a total of $7.5 million. It's very well illustrated the human cost of a child welfare system that was essentially abandoning many of its children, said Marcia Robinson Lowry, executive directors of Children's Rights. Today, Lowry said the younger 3 boys are in good health with another adoptive family. But we all know how that went. Look at the Turpin family. Like, they went from house to house after we found out they were being abused, and the abuse still happened. but they all look healthy. She said they're attractive youngsters. They are doing marvelously. Critchley and Bruce Jackson would have no comment on Vanessa Jackson's release. His position is that it's part of his life and that's behind him and that's where he wants to leave it. So on one of Vanessa Jackson's parole hearing, it took place, well, the issue on the notice of the decision was on June 28, 2007, denying parole for Jackson. The board established a 29-month future eligibility term, setting June 2009 as the earliest date released. Jackson can reapply from December 2009 as the earliest possible release date. Hold on. Yeah, so Bruce, since he was an adult, he was not placed with the foster family. The government helped him set up. Hold on, Bruce Jackson. I want you guys to see these pictures. You'll be totally just disgusted. Oh, in court, he actually he was on stand and he told his the adopted mother, he was like, you would make us eat pancake batter, dried up grits, and oatmeal, uncooked cream of wheat, and raw potatoes instead of cooked food. Mr. Jackson, now 21, told her in the crowded courtroom, you didn't take us to any doctor's appointments. You wouldn't let us watch TV or play with our toys. You wouldn't let us take a shower when we were dirty. You yelled at us, cursed at us, hit us with brooms, rulers, sticks, shoes, and belt buckles. I still have the marks to prove it. She adopted him at 7. So just imagine all that time, 7 to 19, going through that abuse. He said, I want to see Miss Jackson go to jail for life. You were mean to me my whole life, so you deserve the same thing you did to me for the rest of your life. You took my childhood. In a wrenching, angry series of statements that brought onlookers to tears, Mr. Jackson and his brother described publicly for the first time the horror of their life in Miss Jackson's Collingswood, New Jersey home. Prosecutors said they were at a loss as to why the boys were starved and abused while 5 other children were allowed to live normal lives. If we knew why these kind of things happen, we would be able to put ourselves in the shoes of defendants, in the shoes of mass murderers, in the shoes of people who do horrible things to young children, said Vincent P. Sarubi, the Camden County prosecutor. We'd have to become them. And that's why it's impossible in some circumstances to truly understand what may motivate people. And I ask myself all that time, I know we all do, we all ask ourselves. I was telling you to come on because I know you would have a lot to say about this. I ask myself that all the time, and we all do. Like, we can never understand because we just are not those type of people. Like, normal people do not think that way. Only monsters do. Miss Jackson sat impassively in her chair, staring straight ahead as the boys recounted their life with her and her husband, Raymond, who died in 2004. Their sparse diets of raw food, how they were beaten with brooms and belts and forced to stand on the occasions when they were allowed to eat. They never saw a doctor or dentist, were never allowed to bathe. Bruce Jackson said his teeth became so rotten they had to be removed. Mr. Jackson's brothers who now live with an adoptive or foster families were present in the courtroom, but their testimony was presented on videotape. They spared none of the details of what was visited upon them in the home, nor did they hold back their anger. They said, when my new mom asked me what I thought, I told her Miss Vanessa could die for all I care, said Keith, and he was 16 at that time. I thought she should have gotten jail for life or the electric chair because she starved us and almost killed us, and she can't repay us. Yeah, only a year, and the piece of shit dad, didn't get any time. Um, Tyrone Jackson, at 12, he recalled how he once threw up a dinner of white rice because he had been forced to go so long without food. He said, "Man, I just wanted to kill you. I was so angry," he said. He ended his statement with a smile, telling her, "Good luck and have fun in jail." None of the children remotely as they did the last time Vanessa saw them. They didn't look the same at all. Keith, who was 4 feet tall and weighed about 41 pounds when the boys were found, is now 5'2" and 126 pounds. How does that happen? Like, so once you're abused for that long and you're not able to grow, well, I guess because of nutrition and all that. Remember that story about the girl that was held in the closet? I think I'm going to do that one next time because that's part of the foster system. She only weighed like, it was like the same, like 40 pounds. It was the girl in the closet. Oh, wait, I already did tell her story. But yeah, they end up growing, and that is amazing because I just can't imagine. So Tyrone, who was 3 feet and 3 inches, 28 pounds, is now 4 feet and 4 inches and 66 pounds. Michael, who was 11, was about 3 feet tall and 23 pounds. He is now 4 feet, 3 inches and weighs 63 pounds. The most striking gains have been made by Bruce Jackson, who lives on his own residential complex. He is now 5'3" and weighs 140 pounds. A subtext of the hearing was the failure of the state's child welfare system, which underwent a shakeup largely because of the children's case. Miss Jackson's daughter, Vernie, was among her 4 biological children who spoke on her behalf. Her children spoke on her behalf. She said that the case had torn her family apart and that her mother did not deserve to go to jail. She and her mother both sobbed briefly before Vanessa regained her composure and resumed her stoic stare. The reverend from the church that the family attended, he also testified for her. "I've known these people as very loving people," Mr. Thomas said, "people who have a good heart for children, and they have a heart for God." So her children, just say these boys ripped away their family, ripped them apart. What about their lives? And for them to, because they got to live a normal life and not go through what these poor boys did, like they don't think that their mom should go to jail. The fuck kind of shit is that? I don't know. But Judge Robert Milenke of State Superior Court was unmoved. He said Miss Jackson deserved the maximum 7-year term because her conduct fits the description of cruel activity. Why is it only 7 years? Somebody please tell me why. "You have boys who clearly needed help," the judge said. "To do nothing in the face of serious problems demonstrates an absolute failure to recognize fundamental obligations." He also faulted the child welfare agency, but deflected the attempts by Miss Jackson's lawyer, Alan D. Bowman, to blame the system for the children's plight. They in no way provide an excuse for decision made with regard to these children. Several of the brothers, foster and adoptive parents also addressed the court. Keith's adopted mother, whose identity was not given to protect the child's privacy, described how the boys had to be hospitalized when they first came to live with her because their stomachs were so small and not used to having food in them. She sobbed as she recalled how Tyrone, presented with a choice for breakfast, asked for tap water and dry oatmeal, and how the children would hoard food and eat so much so fast. The other kids would be afraid of not getting anything to eat. I assured them that there would always be enough food for them all. She noted the progress that the boys had made through therapy and the help of social workers. They are overcomers instead of being overcome, she said. Victorious, not victims. I want to play an interview as well. That was a really crazy case. I, I can't with any. So this is, I don't know if I'll get, what's it called? A strike. But we will see. I'm so scared of getting them now. Hold on.
Made us sick. 4 young boys starved by their own parents. Nobody knew what was going on inside their house until it broke wide open with this call to 911.
911, where's your emergency? This little kitty got a trash can 3 in the morning. He must be homeless, so he's like, how old is he? He has to be under 10. Yeah, he's very little, very young kid. How old are you? He can't be 19.
That 911 call from a next-door neighbor prompted police to take a closer look inside this New Jersey home. What they found was a house of horrors. 4 young boys with emaciated bodies.
All right, you guys. So look at him. That is the 19-year-old. This one right here, all the way to the right, that's the 19-year-old. It's so crazy. All these people thought that this was normal. I wonder if the parents told people how a fake age. They must have, for a priest to testify on their behalf that they have a good heart. No, I don't know. No.
Literally starving to death. Bruce, who neighbors thought was a little boy, was in fact 19 years old and weighed only 45 pounds. Trayshawn was 14 and weighed 40 pounds. Terrell was 10 and weighed 28 pounds. And 9-year-old Michael was found wearing baby clothes, weighing a mere 23 pounds.
Baby clothes. He was so small, he was able to wear baby clothes still. Disgusting.
All 4 boys had been adopted years earlier by Raymond and Vanessa Jackson. Friends described them as a church-going couple, loving parents who opened their home to foster children in need. The Jacksons claimed their 4 sons were so small because they suffered from eating disorders. The boys told police they were given only raw oatmeal and pancake batter to eat. When authorities removed the boys from the home, they were filthy, had rotted teeth, and head lice. Police found a lock on the refrigerator and an alarm on the kitchen door. Bite marks discovered around the house supported one boy's.
Look at that. Look at that. That is what the boys did because they were so hungry. They were gnawing on their window seals. There was locks and chains on the refrigerator. This is disgusting.
Claimed that he was so hungry he chewed on the window sills and wall plaster.
This is by far the most horrific case of child abuse and child neglect that we've seen over the years.
Vanessa and Raymond Jackson were charged with 28 counts of aggravated assault and child endangerment. Raymond Jackson died of a stroke during the investigation.
I wish he wouldn't have fucking died. He did not have to serve any fucking time. Hold on, you guys. You guys, this is the most, I can't. This is horrible. Horrible. Did you see how they looked? I am heated. I'm not even reading my notes anymore because I'm heated as fuck.
Almost 2 years after he was found scrounging for scraps in the garbage, Bruce faced Vanessa.
That was the 19-year-old that you just saw.
Almost 2
Like, look how you guys saw how I showed you what he looked like, and this is him at the time of trial.
years after he was found scrounging for scraps in the garbage, Bruce faced Vanessa Jackson in court. He had grown over
The evil.
a foot and gained nearly 100 pounds since leaving her home.
You yelled at us, you cussed at us, hit us with brooms, rulers, sticks, shoes, and belt buckles.
Look how he talks. Oh my God, I can't. They ruined these poor boys' life.
I still have the marks to prove it. You took my
Look at her. No, nothing. Only when her daughter went up there to testify, she had some kind of feelings because she got caught and
childhood.
only
I will never get that back.
Her-
I want to see Miss Jackson go to jail for life.
How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. Vanessa Jackson pled guilty to one charge of child endangerment in exchange for a reduced sentence. She served 4 years of a 7-year prison term and was released in February of this year. She continues to deny
look it. That's the 19-year-old. 19. Whoever's joining, 19-year-old weighed 45 pounds. 45 pounds, you guys. These poor children. And it says she only got a year. This says she got 4 years, but it doesn't even matter. How did she only get 1 count?
she ever starved or hurt boys. So we talked to Vanessa Jackson's daughter, who told us that her mother had no interest in talking to me. And I just wanted to say to you, Vanessa, anytime, anywhere, I will meet you so that you can explain this to me. Let's see those photos again. Treshawn was 14 and 40 pounds.
14 and 40 pounds. That's one of them. 14 and 40 fucking pounds.
Typical 14-year-old weighs 115 pounds. 40 pounds is what a normal 4 or 5-year-old weighs. Terrell was 10 and 28 pounds.
10 and 28 pounds. I don't know if this is the one or the next one that was wearing baby clothes.
The average 10-year-old should be about 70 pounds. 28 pounds is the average weight of a 2-year-old. And Michael was 9 and just 23 pounds.
Oh,
Most 9-year-olds weigh about 60 pounds. 23
He was the one that was found wearing baby clothes.
pounds is the average weight of an 18-month-old toddler. And that was 7 years ago. Those brave young brothers have been through a living hell and are here with their triumphant story. Coming out, Treshawn, Terrell, and Michael.
You guys, I got to take a restroom break. Please stay with me. I got to pee so bad, but I want you guys to hear this. I am so, and you know why the mom didn't come on here? Because she's a fucking scary ass bitch that can abuse kids, but can't come out and explain why she did it. Because you are a monster. There is no fucking explaining anything. And her lawyer advised her not to. Pieces of shit. Let me go pee real quick. I will be right back. Please do not leave, because, woo. I am so heated, you guys. I am so fucking heated. If anyone wants to join panel, you can. Okay, let me play this.
Woo! Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Victory, victory, victory. Well, you guys are looking good.
Thank you.
You're looking really
Thank
good,
you.
really good. And we want to say, Bruce isn't here, but Bruce is really the hero of this story, is he not?
Yes.
Yes, because had he not gone out in the middle of the night looking in the trash.
That's the oldest that was looking through the trash, and that's when the neighbors finally decided to call 911. There is something I'm going to go over before I end it later. Um, there's a reason he can't speak to the siblings, and I think that's why he wasn't there. I'm not sure.
Ash for food, you might still be trapped in that house
And even be dead.
and might even be dead. Tell me what you remember about those years.
Back when living with the Jacksons, it was a house of horror.
Mhm.
Anything you did, they would punish you for it.
Well, when would you all? Obviously, you all were starved, but you had to have something to eat over the years. Otherwise, you would have been dead. Were you be allowed to eat once a day, or how often were you allowed?
I guess it was all. It was like all depends how she was
She
feeling.
never knew like how many times she was going to eat. And then sometimes when she did call you in there, she would give you a certain time limit that she would give you. She'd call you in like, well, you have a minute to eat all this, and if you don't finish it.
For you guys that are just joining, they were fed pancake batter and stale grits. Pancake batter. They got so hungry, they chewed at their window sills, eating wood and paint.
You're not going to get your next meal. So when we go in there, we would be rushing, just stuffing food in our mouth, hoping that we could hurry up and finish and feed ourselves so we can get the next meal.
So tell me this: had you come to her as how old were you when you first moved there?
The age I came at the Jackson's house was 5 years old.
5 years old. And how old were you?
I was 2.
You were 2.
I was at least a year.
A year old. So you were little babies brought in as for foster care.
Yes.
Yes. And then did she eventually adopt you?
Yes. After 2 years.
After 2 years. Were you fed at first?
Yes.
First 2 years, yes. And after that, that's when everything changed. That's when the Vanessa Jackson that we know now started coming out.
Yeah. And what happened? Do you know what happened after that 2 years?
To tell you the truth, I really don't know what happened. It just hit us.
They also had bio kids and like 5 other ones, and they were normal. They were taken care of, and I don't get it. I've heard this from I forgot his name, but it's Babies for Benefits. These people adopt these children just to get the money.
Did you all go to church? Because we saw that they were church-going people.
Well, when we went to church, they basically like stuff like sweaters, hoodies, and they like made us wear like thick clothes to make us look like we were healthy and stuff like that.
See, sometimes that they actually had us wear like 3 to 4 sweaters just to make ourselves look like we were big and we were healthy when we really weren't at all.
Mm-hmm. So did you ever think to tell somebody?
When I was going to school, and I was telling my teacher about it, but then my teacher wouldn't believe me. So eventually the Jacksons found out that I was telling my teacher, and they eventually took me out of the school and tried to homeschool us about it.
Really?
And we've discussed this before, guys. If there are allegations, like if kids are coming out and saying we are being abused, they should not be allowed to take their children out of school. That's when it gets worse.
What did you tell your teacher?
That I told her, I started telling her like I'm hungry, and I'm not. And my teacher was like, she noticed because I was like, bro, I was getting skinnier all the time. And then sometimes I would actually come there asking my teacher for food.
Mm-hmm. But she didn't believe you?
No, ma'am.
And obviously told somebody so that your Vanessa Jackson found out.
Yes.
And then homeschooled you all. And after you were homeschooled, you had no access to the outside world.
No, not at all.
You were just locked in the house.
Locked in the house.
Hi, YouTubers. I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube.
Let me go through one more interview, and then I want to. There's a reason why 19-year-old Bruce is not. Hold on. There's so many stories that I'm going to go over because just by looking at this, look, and there's another one. Foster parents who starve child, sentence only 5 to 10 years. There's so many. Okay, where is... Okay. Okay, so cut off from his brothers, Bruce, 26, now lives in a state-supervised group home for the developmentally disabled. Some say he is lonely and feels lost. They won't even let us talk to him. His brother, Terrell Parrish, 16, formerly known as Tyrone Jackson, said last month. We're looking... So the other three boys were adopted by James and Amber Parrish in Millville. We're looking into the allegation that the family wants to have contact with him and he wishes to have contact with them, and someone is preventing that from happening. Someone is preventing this from happening. He can't even speak to his brothers that they almost died together. They were with each other. They were raised together. And for some reason, he cannot speak to them. So we need to actually find out what the facts are. Young said the organization has contacted the State Department of Health and Human Services, Bureau of Guardianship Services to inquire about Jackson. He's been appointed a state guardian, Young said. We started the process, but it doesn't happen very quickly. This is not your run-of-the-mill situation. Our goal is to determine and respect the wishes of the individual. I can't. So one of the brothers said last month they have him guarded like the president. Bruce's welfare is a well-protected secret. Requests to interview him were rebuffed by Michael Critchley, sir, a West Orange criminal lawyer who has represented many high-profile clients. Soon after Bruce was taken from the Jackson home, he was judged incompetent and was appointed his legal advisor. Critchley has said in past interviews that Bruce needed placement in a home because he could not live alone and was having difficulties living a normal existence. The lawyer waived his fees but is reimbursed for his expenses, according to court documents. A state guardian in the Department of Human Services was given control over day-to-day decisions pertaining to Bruce's well-being. My thing came on. In 2005, Bruce received the $5 million out of a court settlement and from the state because social workers had overlooked his emaciated condition during home visits. So there were home visits as well. His brothers each got $1.8 million in trust funds. Critchley was quoted at the time as saying Bruce might someday want to use that money to buy a house and hire a staff to look after him. But in recent weeks, when asked why that has not happened, Critchley has cited privacy issues. I look into the Critchley Fellow and the State Guardian and the state agency. There is something very wrong here. Bruce Jackson does not have an independent life, though he is of age. With 2 trustworthy attendants, he could live a normal life. He's getting therapy. He's on medication. He has an education. He could live around the corner from his brothers and have contact with them. I don't understand what is stopping this. Is he being penalized for dropping the ball on New Jersey's social services? His brother said he should get what he wants. He wants a family. He deserves it after what he did for us. He saved our lives. That day, Trishawn, Michael, and their adoptive father, James Parrish, had spoken briefly to Bruce on the phone. But before Terrell got his turn, a resident advisor got on the line and said Bruce was not permitted to talk with them. Over the years, Parrish said the boys have had only a handful of phone conversations with Bruce. He's lonely, and when he calls, he asks if we forget about him. He needs to see his family. Time and time again, authorities and attendants cut off phone calls, deny or shorten visits, and wave the family away from the young man. Why? I think that the more he is allowed in a normal environment, the more he will be able to deal and interact efficiently or effectively on his own among the people who love him. Could it be that it's Bruce's $5 million payday that is the real football here? The attorney for Bruce Jackson Michael Crishley Sir handles criminal cases. And a criminal case, and now I'm reading from my notes, you guys. A criminal case, of course, he waived his fees, but not his expenses. And the guardian ad litem, someone unnamed in the Department of Health and Human Services. Weird, nothing here makes sense at all. Why? Why can he not make these visits? The last time that Bruce visited was in October 2006. But that's when Trishawn was then living in an adoptive home in Texas. The parishes have adopted Trishawn as well. So they have all the siblings, but Bruce. And in the fall, Bruce attended Terrell and Michael's football game, but with chaperones. Afterwards, the three brothers embraced and caught up, Parrish said. They were happy to see each other. Bruce did not act out of the ordinary in any way. That's what the adoptive parents are saying. But he did become upset when the chaperones ruled out plans to go back to the house for pizza. They were quoted to say, "If you act like this, you won't be able to go anywhere." Bruce got into the van, and that was the last time they ever saw him, which was in 2006. He wants to be with his brothers, guys. This is all kinds of wrong. All kinds of wrong. He is a young man who's he didn't have a childhood. And now everything's getting taken away from him once he's free. He's basically not free. He's still in that jail. He doesn't have any social interactions. It can't help him at all if he's not around people. That's not going to do any good for him. In order to enhance his abilities, and not be penalized or forgotten, he needs to get away and out from these people. And I definitely think that we can make a difference. I actually was thinking about putting a petition out. There is a Facebook group, which I will show you guys right now. Nobody's watching anymore. But I will show you guys. See, these kind of cases, people need to watch. It's really sad. And these are the kind of cases that we need help with. That's not it. Hold on. So everybody leaves when I'm trying to come up with an idea of how we can help him. What can we do to get this man that's being taken advantage of? Hold on, where did it go? But no, nobody. Okay. I will find it later. You guys, I'm going to start a petition. I am going to get a hold somehow of one of the siblings. Hold on. I'm going to find out what is going on. But I need everybody's help in this. I'll figure this out, but I will do another video coming up because I will have a petition started. I am going to get a hold of the parish family. I know that the boys are older now, but Bruce is still stuck. I will make another video and I will show, I'm going to make a Facebook group right now. Well, in a little bit. Later on, I have a guest that's going to come on panel for Lawrence Payne, who I have put the petition out, who has been wrongly accused. I have so much documents. His girlfriend's going to join me on panel later. So I have that going on. I have to get off of here. Me and my son are going to go on a walk. I'm going to clean. And then I will get the Facebook stuff going. I need everybody's help. He needs everybody's help. It's not fair. Are they keeping him there because of the money? Are they using his money without him knowing? It's like Britney Spears, you know. I'm so disgusted. I'm even more disgusted. There was like 4 people on here and they stopped watching because this is something that's very messed up and very hold on, you guys.
I was kind of waiting to see if you were gonna have that one the broadcasting for Bernice. I have to be somewhere. I have to leave, but I was kind of thinking of waiting. But I have an idea. I have a friend named Joel, and I kind of wanted to gather some people so that you would have a lot more.
Yeah, I gotta get this covered. We're gonna have a lot of people on panel who knows Lawrence, who can tell the story. You guys, when I come back and I am going over this case and I make the Facebook group, please share. We can make a difference, but it takes you guys to do that as well. It takes our subs. You guys are what makes our channel, what makes a difference. We are the voices, but you guys are the voices as well. And the more that share, the more help we can get. We did it for baby Levi. Let's do it for Bruce. Please join us on the next show. Lawrence Payne, wrongly convicted. He's been in prison for 17 years. So much into this case, you guys. The police, the detectives that arrested him, they two people have been acquitted because he just put him in prison for no reason. And the DNA proved that. Now this guy, he's been convicted because of the same detective. So please give this video a like. Please subscribe. It takes a second. If you want to help in any way, share this video. Let's get these people some help. In the beginning, I was gone for a little bit, but that's because my neighbors, I don't know. I can't even talk about it because they watch my show. But they'll probably watch this and be like, oh God. But they already know. Like, I go out there and it's, I don't know, there's something weird. But unfounded. Just like these people's houses that we're going over. You know, you never know who or what could be going on in the house next to you in your neighborhood. And even if you say something, like I go over there if I hear stuff and I'm like, what's going on? I might be seen as like this nosy neighbor, but no, because I know what can happen, what takes place in these houses, you know? So, yeah. I hope you guys can subscribe. Hope you can join a live later. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you see something, say something. It can save a life. If you see a child that is 19 years old and weighs 45 pounds, say something, please. Ridiculous. If you hear a child screaming like my neighbor's child was, say something, please. I will see you guys next time. It's your girl, Red Bull. My coffee is at work. Hopefully we'll be doing a show together soon. I love you all. Please share our channel as well. Everybody have a great day. Please be kind to one another out there. It is already a cruel, evil world, as we can see. It doesn't hurt to be kind. Tell somebody something nice today. It could make their day. You never know what anyone's going through. And please remember, don't jump on these cases without any proof, facts, evidence, pointing fingers. It doesn't do anything. I mentioned on the last show that White Boy Lockdown Radio. I don't like Don Wells, but we've all made bad decisions. I think Don's was definitely getting involved with YouTubers, creators, but if it had to be anyone, White Boy Lockdown Radio, he's the one to help Don. But we don't know what happened to Summer. It's just like Kyron. We don't know. It's never okay to just jump and accuse anybody. We can have our opinions, of course, but don't make these cases into a huge circus. I love you all. I will see you later.